Our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Tonight, the Bucks and Kuzma cash in at Washington.
Inbound pass to Kuzma, catches it, lays it off the window, and good. And the Bucks will have the last laugh.
Our coverage starts at 5:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, February 21st. Your top story, just your average balcony rescue in Milwaukee.
I'm Jessica Ty. Outrage in Israel.
Sunny skies today, a high of 28 degrees. Clear tonight and cold, a low of 7 degrees inland. Up to 30 on Saturday. We might even see the 40s and rain by the start of the work week. It's 22 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee. At 11 o'clock from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, space heaters being blamed for a large apartment fire early this morning on Milwaukee's far northwest side. The blaze at Willow Court Apartments near 89th and Lynx forced 20 residents to evacuate. Crews say it appears to have been caused by space heaters being too close to flammable materials. Battalion Chief Nicholas Troust says they had to evacuate 3 people from a balcony.
We had an apartment filled with residents at the time of arrival. Beyond the complexity of fighting a fire, we also had the fact that we were trying to get a bunch of people rescued from that building as well.
No injuries have been reported. The Red Cross is assisting 7 displaced residents.
Meanwhile, one person is seriously hurt after jumping from the second story of a home to escape a fire in Fond du Lac County overnight. Crews say the people inside that home in the town of Matomen were sleeping when the fire started. Sheriff's officers say an explosion happened after they got to the scene. 2 other people are hurt and now in the hospital. The cause of that fire is being investigated.
Milwaukee Public Schools advancing funding needed to return resource officers to school buildings.
The Board of School Directors approves nearly $800,000 to cover half the cost of re-implementing SRO.
Oh, that froze up on me. MPS is advancing the funding needed to return school resources to buildings in the MPS district. They're going to pay about half. The city's going to be on the hook for the other half. Look for a total of about $800,000 from each entity. The deadline to have them in place is February 27th.
Outrage in Israel. Officials say Hamas violated the ceasefire agreement when it returned the wrong remains during a hostage exchange. News Nation's Mills Hayes reports the militant group is calling it a mix-up.
Condemning the handover, Netanyahu called it a cruel and malicious violation of the ceasefire agreements, insisting that Hamas will pay the price. Hamas also responding moments ago, slamming the claims. The militant group says Shiri Babas remains appear to have been mixed with other human remains as it was pulled from the wreckage of an Israeli airstrike on the place where her body was being held.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to retaliate.
Well, the Pope is starting to feel a little bit better, but remains in a hospital in Italy.
Pope Francis continues to receive treatment for pneumonia at Rome's Gemelli Hospital. Sources tell ABC News the Pope is still working and seeing Vatican officials, spending his time between bed and an armchair. Also reporting that he's breathing independently. Thursday night, doctors said the Pope's condition has improved and signaled that he's responding well to treatment. It's unclear how long Pope Francis will remain hospitalized or whether he will lead noon prayer on Sunday. Marcus Moore, ABC News, Rome.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A lot of red again today. The Dow down nearly 400 points at 43,797. NASDAQ off about 150 today at 19,815. And the S&P 500 off about 35 at 6,082. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
A reunion of sorts for the Bucks tonight. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:04.
You got to get to Built Right today. Built Right's President's Day and Randy Kay's birthday sale and $1 million clearance sell-off are extended. This is WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses. If you're looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, do what my wife and I did. We went to Built Right. We love our new living room furniture, and we loved our shopping experience as well. It's all about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 97 years strong. Third and fourth generation family members are right there in the store working alongside their amazing team. Thousands of items in stock or custom order at a low sale price. USA made, small scale, Ohio Amish made, real solid wood furniture. Over 48 models of power lift recliners in stock. 60 models of USA made mattresses. Built Right always saves you money. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday. Closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, just off of 894 at 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. It's night 2 of a back-to-back for the Bucks and a bit of a reunion. Bucks in the nation's capital to take on the Washington Wizards. Chris Middleton will make his Wizards debut against his former team.
I am going to be here as a mentor and whatnot, but, I want Wizards fans to know that I'm not here just to be a mentor. I'm here to be a basketball player and compete out there and help win games.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:30 on WTMJ. Brewers begin Cactus League play Saturday afternoon in Arizona against the Reds. You can hear that game right here on WTMJ with coverage beginning at 2 o'clock. College basketball tonight, 16th ranked Marquette on the road at Villanova. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 6. At 11th ranked Wisconsin takes on Oregon Saturday morning at the Kohl Center. It's an 11 o'clock tip. Badger Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have a new crash popped up just a little bit before 11. I-94 East, right around the ramp from County F in Waukesha County. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash, and traffic is moving along a little bit slower around that. It's kind of a busy time in that spot, so just a heads up. I-94 East, beyond the ramp from County F in Waukesha County. Right shoulder is blocked right now because of a new crash.
Well, pretty nice day today. Sunny skies and a high of 28. Calm winds, mostly clear tonight and a low of 7. Partly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 30. 38 the high on Sunday. 43 the high on Monday. Even a chance of rain in the forecast. 44 the high on Tuesday. Going to have some melting going on here this weekend. 22 and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Todd.
I am worried about our producer, Gina. I'm very worried about her.
She's all hopped up on Mountain Dew.
No.
Do you remember the kid who said that? No, Gina's hopped up on coffee.
So at about 10 o'clock, I decided, you know what, it's Friday. Let's do a little Starbucks run. So I took our elaborate skywalk system here in downtown Milwaukee that connects our building with the Hyatt. Go down to the first floor of the Hyatt, and you'll stumble into a Starbucks. It was very busy this morning because there was some sort of ballroom dancing competition happening, ironically, in a ballroom at the Hyatt. When you stumble upon that at about 10:05 in the morning, you're just not exactly sure what is going on. So I did spend some time observing. Looked like quite the competition. I got our drinks. Everybody got a grande something.
Thank you.
I am still, I would say, 88% full on mine. You are roughly, I'm going to say a little less, maybe 70% full.
I think that's about good. 65% maybe. I'm trying to enjoy it, savor it.
Gina finished hers in 11 seconds. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
No, it's pretty close.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to bring this up. Yeah.
And then she was looking at me and all kind of jealous that I still have coffee sitting in my cup.
This is why I get a venti, Greg.
Yeah, well, they don't have a size big enough for you. I just need to bring the barista over here with their stuff and just have them crank out coffee for you all day long.
A midday barista. That's what we
It's not a
Gina,
bad
how
idea.
about that? We need a little barista in the corner.
Oh, I'm all for that.
It's really not a bad idea. Well, I am enjoying my pistachio cold foam cold brew. Jessica's enjoying her hot chai latte, and you are enjoying, hopefully, this program. It's 11:10, some big stories that we're chasing here today.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, Uber with guns. An on-demand armed guard app debuted in the Apple App Store today. It's called Protector. It allows users to hire personal armed security along with a ride. There's thought people will want this in the wake of the United Healthcare CEO being killed. The personnel are either credentialed active duty or retired law enforcement officers.
I was stationed at the Pentagon. I've been an Air Force pararescueman for over 14 years. Currently a member of our SWAT team.
I proudly serve as a commander in the United States military.
The service is available to start in New York City and Los Angeles, as most places start up there, right? And then they move on. So we'll see which state it adds next. But it's basically, and which cities, obviously, but it's basically a ride share with protection.
So I'm trying to think about going through the app and booking this. You can book multiple vehicles, right? So if you want 3 Lincoln Navigators to show up wherever you are, all black, tinted windows, you can do that, right? You can order that. You can have your own little motorcade going wherever you need to go.
You can choose the number of vehicles, and you can choose some other things as well, and we'll tell you about that coming up at 11:37.
Fascinating story. In a related story, in number 2, Luigi Mangione, the suspect accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, back in court today. It's his first court appearance since pleading not guilty in December. The hearing today could result in a trial date being set. He's due in court about 1:30. ABC's Janice Yu outside the courtroom where supporters of Mangione are lined up.
It looked like they were here actually overnight. I'm not sure what time they got here. Some of the people at the front of the line are in these small tents. We are seeing more people show up standing in line outside of State Superior Court here in Lower Manhattan.
This will be Mangione's first court appearance since he was arraigned on state murder charges in December. The 26-year-old also faces federal charges that could carry the possibility of the death penalty, but kind of an eerie scene of supporters outside the courtroom for a man who is accused of murdering a healthcare CEO.
I think it was surprising when they first showed up, months ago at this point, but I was a little bit surprised that there were still reporters out there. Of course, there were reporters out there. I was surprised that there were supporters out there again. Like, it seemed like they're going to keep showing up for him every time there's a court appearance. Wild. Number 3, eggs from turkey. There's a new effort to fight the impact of bird flu here in the U.S. ABC's Round and Alley explains.
I was stationed at the Pentagon. I've been an Air Force pararescueman for over 14 years. Currently a member of our SWAT team.
I proudly serve as a commander in the United States military.
Here's Round and Alley.
Turkey has agreed to send 15,000 tons of eggs to the U.S. The first shipments are expected by the end of this month. Meanwhile, Nevada, one state with cage-free egg regulations, has suspended those rules.
15,000 tons of eggs is equal to roughly 33 million pounds of eggs. The bird flu outbreak has impacted nearly 129 million chickens, turkeys, and other birds. According to the CDC, that includes flocks in all states.
So who initiates that conversation? And where do all the eggs go? I mean, I can't even get a carton of eggs home from the grocery store without cracking.
I was more wondering about how they get over here safely, just the transportation aspect of it. I mean, obviously they are refrigerated, right?
Yeah, so there's cold storage on vessels that would come across from Europe for sure.
You're bringing all kinds of food over here, but just it's something you don't normally think about.
Well, where do they go and where are they distributed, right? I mean, they're going to hit up on the East Coast, maybe in Baltimore somewhere, and then how do you get those 15 million whatever cartons of eggs scattered about the country?
Like, will we get some of those eggs from Turkey here in southeastern Wisconsin?
You should be able to tell. I think they have like a little turkey waddle on them.
I don't think so.
Interesting. It's 11:14 on WTMJ. Hey, coming up next, why it might be a good idea to get those taxes filed in February. Might want to do it sooner than later. We'll explain the story after this.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Hang out with me Saturdays at 1 o'clock. It's the Experience Wisconsin show. We go from north to south, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, introducing you to some of the cool places, events, and people that make Wisconsin so super special. This week, a show that I'm really excited about. It is the Greater Milwaukee Automobile Dealers Association show, the Milwaukee Auto Show. We'll talk to an expert from the auto show. They'll tell you what's going on, the new cars, and a whole lot more. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays on WTMJ.
Hey, thanks, John. Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. Greg Matzik here for Gruber Law Offices. David and his team do a wonderful job protecting those who have been hurt in accidents, and they really have exactly what it takes to take on the insurance companies. They do it every day. They've been doing it for 40 years and giving back to the community, all very important to the folks at Gruber. Wonderful family-owned business, large enough with a powerful team. In fact, one of the largest personal injury firms in the Midwest. They do have a local feel about them, though, because they are Milwaukee proud. Locally known and nationally recognized. Visit gruber-law.com. Or make a phone call if you've been hurt in an accident. It's 414-276-6666.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Well, some like to procrastinate. We in the Matzik household like to get our taxes done early. Yes, I am a February filer. I've always been that way, and typically it's because we get a refund. Not major, but something. I understand the reason for procrastination if you perhaps are going to owe the IRS, but maybe new incentive to get that filing done sooner than later. We welcome in ABC's Jim Ryan. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Not only has there been a hiring freeze in effect at the Internal Revenue Service for some time, Elon Musk and DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, have come in and started slashing people, taking people who have been on the job for less than a year, those probationary employees, and letting them go. About 6,000 of those workers will be off the job, perhaps by the end of next week. That means that if you have not filed your return, and that includes millions and millions of people, then you might see some delays in both the processing of your return and the issuance of any refund that you might be due.
Do we know how long those delays could be?
Well, no. The guess is that if you file right now under normal circumstances, if you file your return and you're expecting a refund, it should be within the following 2 weeks that you receive it. But an internal or an industry publication for CPAs and tax preparers says that could be much longer, might be just a little bit longer, depends upon how many people are let go from the IRS and the positions that they're in. Now, we're being told, Jessica, at ABC, that these people are not actual tax processors or people handling the returns. These are people answering phones. These are people who in support positions. But that means also that if you need to call the IRS, chances are you won't be able to get right in. There could be further delays with just contacting the IRS.
Well, how you file, I think, is an interesting discussion here, too, Jim. I'm a TurboTax guy. Our taxes are not terribly complicated. TurboTax is just fine for me. But last year there was this pilot program, this direct file program, new to the IRS. They rolled it out to 25 additional states this year. Wisconsin is in that cluster of states. Well, now it appears Elon Musk has deleted it. So where does this stand? Because this was a new opportunity for people to file without having to pay to do so.
Well, it was. And you're right. And you can still do that. You can still do it free. If you have, TurboTax or Tax Act or one of those, there is a free component there that you can use. They try to sell you other upgrades to those things, try to upsell you, but you don't have to take it. And so the urging of tax professionals is that, you go ahead and try to file electronically, because if you're one of the some 70 million people who file by paper return, that just gums up the system even more. The IRS is antiquated in its infrastructure, in its software, in its hardware, infamously so. And so, anything you can do to try to streamline the process, including filing electronically and making sure that you get your refund by direct deposit, well, that's all going to help, Greg.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I also heard, though, on the other hand, you've got these people who, some taxpayers concerned about DOJ employees potentially seeing their bank account information. And in those cases, I was hearing that those people might want to choose not to receive their funds via direct deposit. It's all kind of hodgepodge right now, it seems.
Well, it is. It's difficult to know where to fall on this entire thing. I can tell you that people apparently are a little more reluctant to file this year than last, Jessica. If you look at the figures from the IRS, at this point in the tax filing season last year, 15.3 million returns had been filed. At this point today in the filing season, only 13.1 million returns. That's a 14% decline in the number of returns. Average refund this year, $1,900. Last year, only $1,300. What are people waiting for? I really don't know.
All right, Jim, are you a procrastinator or an early filer?
I finished a week and a half ago.
Oh, look at that.
Sent it off
Look at that.
electronically.
Right. Jimmy's getting ahead of the game. Love it. ABC's Jim Ryan. Good stuff, Jim. Thank you. Have
Thanks,
a great
Jim.
weekend.
Happy Friday.
Take care. See ya.
Yep, you do the same. Have a good one. We'll talk to Brendan Johnson. He is on the road today, heading out to Lapham Peak, and maybe not noticing any melting yet, but it's coming. A little bit of a warm-up coming here this part of the weekend and early next week. We'll get the details from Brendan after this.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Cornerstone Development. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Well, it's been pretty tough for a lot of dogs out there. I know that with the super cold weather. Not a lot of fun taking the dog outside. They don't want to be there. You don't want to be there with them. It's just hard to do anything that you want to do with your dog during the winter weather that we've had recently. Well, you've got a place in the Hounds and Tap that can help you out with pretty much anything. Doggy boarding, doggy daycare, grooming services available. We just had our dog's nails trimmed there after an overnight stay. It was great. Kind of a one-stop shop for everything dog-related. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls, 12,000 square foot facility and designed for dogs. This is not a retrofit. It is a first-class operation at the Hounds and Tap. Wonderful people there. Everybody trained in dog behavior. They know how to make sure there is no conflict at the Hounds and Tap. If you want to hang out with your dog, you can do that too. They got a great indoor-outdoor tavern. Boy, a beautiful day in the summer especially is hanging out, grabbing food from the food truck. You can grab a drink, watch a game. In the wintertime, all right, well, maybe the outside portion of the tavern is closed up, but you can still hang out inside. It's a great place, a great time. It's the Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls. Check out their Facebook page. See all the happy pups they have as part of their daycare and boarding services. Then make your appointment at thehoundsandtap.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, AccuNet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Well, we're beyond the deep freeze. Kind of a nice day today. Got the sun shining. Winds are calm. No big major systems on the horizon. In fact, we might have rain by Monday. We welcome in TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Hey, Brendan.
Guys, how's it going?
Doing great. So you're kind of out of the deep freeze. Are we going to get some melting this weekend?
Yeah, it's looking like that. We finally, after what is almost, it'll be 15 days for Milwaukee being completely below freezing, we will finally get above that 32-degree mark on Sunday, if you can believe it.
Wow. 40s likely as we start off next week. That's awesome. I'm kind of curious. I mean, we did get a significant amount of snow last weekend.
Yeah.
And we had, we had round 1 and then we had round 2, which was kind of 2 rounds in and of itself. So do you think all of our snow is going to be gone at some point next week, or do you think some will be still sticking around?
I do think that we will at least have sun that sticks around. I do think with a higher sun angle, anything that's around concrete or pavement is going to melt very quickly. And likely guys will refreeze at night. So we got to just be a little careful about that. I don't think we're going to see, the 5 or 6 inches of snow depth across the area completely disappear. But I think it will make a good dent in it for sure.
Hey, Brendan, was your vehicle one of those stuck in the water main break on the east side?
Oh my gosh! I can't believe that. And to be one of those folks where it was just inches of ice surrounding their tires. My goodness! But no, thank goodness.
Well,
I felt for those folks.
Pretty wild. So maybe this weekend, if they're not out, you'll have some weather that can melt the ice.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that. Jenna Ray had called me. She was our reporter that was out there. The city had put down some salt around the tires, and it helped a little bit because it lowers the freezing point of water and ice. But this will be some good weather. Mother Nature will actually help to thaw those cars out a bit.
I hear you're heading out to Lapham Peak, which is an awesome spot for winter lovers and the snow out there. They've got those cross-country trails. What are you doing up there today?
Yeah, I'm literally looking out our front windshield here of the TMJ4 Storm Chaser. The skiers are out. The cross-country skiers are here at Lapham Peak. It is a beautiful sunny day. The snow is awfully bright. But yeah, we're just here just to get into the spirit of it. After a good snowpack, after this, really frigid blast of air, we've got a couple days here where it's cold enough, I would say, but not dangerously cold, or the kind of cold that would keep you inside. So just some really good weather here heading into the weekend to do some of this cross-country skiing for sure.
Hey, when the 40s come on Monday, how long might those stick around?
Yeah, so they'll be here through Wednesday at this point. We're expecting highs to remain above or around 40 degrees through Wednesday. We've got a couple little clipper systems we're watching Monday as well as Tuesday. They don't seem too terribly strong, and with temperatures being well above freezing, we think they might come in as rain. Wednesday, things get a little different. We got another clipper system, but we could see some cooler air working on the backside of that, so we could be back, in the 30s on Thursday, but just a little brief cool down after this nice warm-up.
Good stuff, Brendan. Enjoy your time at Lapham Peak. We'll check it again next week.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Take care.
Yep, you did the same. Kind of rhymed there. Poet, I didn't even know.
Yo, there you go. I was checking out the ski reports for the public trails at Lapham Peak just out of curiosity. Oh, my goodness. These reports are fantastic. If you look at Lapham Peak, they have an official trail report, but then you can also go ahead and issue your own reports. And there are so many great ones, like a woman named Ann last night. She wrote in, she skied like 3:30 to 4:30 on the man-made loop. She said, track in great shape, another day in paradise. Thanks to all who make Lapham Nordic skiing the best. These reports are great. It's really cool to see, to check out if you're going up there.
Yeah, not bad snow conditions, right? If they're making snow and you got good temperatures, it might be a little slushy, but not that bitter cold. It would have been rough last week, no doubt. 11:28 news coming up.
I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Should I delay my Social Security benefits, or should I start taking them right away? The truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Your decision can impact your income for the rest of your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help you create a strategy to maximize your benefits so you can make the most of what you've earned. Social Security is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap. Take the first step today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and get a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Don't leave money on the table. Text SS to 414-897-9522.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
It's a super affordable family fish fry Friday at the Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Do not pay $16 or more for your fish fry. The Mine Shaft fish fry is just $7.99, and it's all you can eat. You deserve it. After a long week, relax with a cold beverage and a great fish fry. Kids menu starts at $3.99, and they can safely play in that huge game room quietly tucked aside from the dining area while you finish up, maybe have an after-dinner drink. I repeat, hard to believe, the Mine Chef's all-you-can-eat fish fry is $7.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford. And near the EAA in Oshkosh, tons of seating, lots of close parking. Reserve now for your Friday, $7.99 all-you-can-eat fish fry, serving from 11 a.m. Get there early. I love that fish fry. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. Sunday brunch under $15. What a value. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, a deadly shooting in Milwaukee.
I'm Jessica Ty. Considering a cell phone ban.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Layoffs have started at the IRS, and sources at the agency tell ABC News the timing could impact tax filing season. The White House says it should not interfere.
This is a significant number of people at the IRS who started to get their layoff notices as of last night. 6,000 people at the agency, and that's across the country, not just here in Washington, D.C. It's about 6% of the workforce, but this is something that is part of the broader workforce reductions by the Trump administration, and they're defending this, saying that this is all about trying to target waste, fraud, and abuse.
ABC's Karen Travers. Doctors in Rome briefed the public, saying Pope Francis is not out of danger yet as he battles pneumonia, but also stressed he is not in danger of dying from the virus. Existing home sales dipped last month, another sign higher mortgage rates are putting a damper on the market, and another report shows consumer confidence slid with concerns over potential tariffs. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 11:31. One person is dead after a shooting overnight on Milwaukee's northwest side. A 23-year-old was found dead at the scene near 95th and Brown Deer. No one is in custody.
Milwaukee Public Schools approved nearly $800,000 in funding for school resource officers.
Now the district says the ball lies in the city's court, with their plan to split the cost for SROs down the middle sent to the city attorney's office. Board President Marva Herndon.
We're ready to accept officers as soon as they are available.
The move late Thursday came after an irate Judge David Borowski set a new SRO deal deadline earlier this week.
I take a dim view of elected officials thinking that they're above the law. They're not, at least in this court. So this is going to get resolved.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Space heaters are being blamed for a large apartment fire early this morning on Milwaukee's far northwest side. The fire at the Willow Court Apartments near 89th and Lynx near Highway 145 forced 20 residents to evacuate. No injuries have been reported. Crews say the fire appears to have been caused by space heaters being too close to flammable materials.
Cell phones could be banned in Wisconsin classrooms under a Republican bill making its way through Madison. The state assembly passed the bill this week, largely along party lines, with only one representative opposed. Under the law, school boards would have to adopt policies to prohibit the use of wireless communication devices during instructional time, with exceptions for emergency situations and monitoring medical conditions.
Residents in Shawano County could pay an additional fee for vehicle registration beginning next week. Our partners at NBC 26 report the so-called wheel tax could provide $750,000 for road work projects. If approved, Shawano County would be joining 13 other counties in the state that have a vehicle registration tax. The county board will vote on whether or not to implement the tax next week.
The interim president at Northland College in Ashland is discussing the school's upcoming closure.
Declining enrollment and soaring costs have led the private environmental liberal arts college to close its doors. Interim President Barb Lundberg tells WTMJ the focus now is supporting students.
Having a transfer and teach-out fair, sessions on completing applications and financial aid.
She hopes the college's 133 years on the shores of Lake Superior will have a lasting legacy on
the students it serves definitely, but also, an impact on our region and the flavor that you feel when you're up here.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
And a new anchor tenant is moving into Mayfair Mall in Wauwatosa.
A sporting goods store called Scheels will move into the vacant Boston store at the mall. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says Scheels will stock sporting goods, footwear, along with equipment like golf clubs, bats, archery bows, bicycles, and more. The Scheels will also include Gina's Cafe, a coffee shop, and a Fuzzywigs candy shop. The paper says Scheels plans to open at the mall in 2 years. There are 2 other Scheels in the state, one in Appleton, the other in Eau Claire. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. Hang on a second now. Gina's Cafe.
Gina?
And a coffee shop?
What didn't you tell us, Gina?
Are you behind this? This is your doing, isn't it? Gina's staying out of the news.
She said a great side gig.
It's her deal.
Side hustle.
Right. We have her to thank.
Nope, we're keeping her. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:35.
Imagine waking up to the updated kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. J&J Contractors is your preferred partner in all your home renovation needs. They can transform your kitchen with beautiful new floors, custom cabinetry, and more. Dreaming of a spa-like oasis with custom tile work and fixtures? J&J Contractors will design a bathroom that leaves you feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. For your free consultation, just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Lark.
I love the location, and that's the main reason Dave and I are there, is because of nature all around us. I knew when we moved in, I was leaving behind a lot of stress and responsibility. I decided now is the time to do what I want when I want to do it.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big bucks on top brands like Bradenton Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradenton Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases. And it's free. Stop in today and save now during the President's Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks are back at it tonight after a win over the Clippers on the home floor, Milwaukee in the nation's capital, to take on former teammate Chris Middleton and the Washington Wizards. Coverage gets underway at 5:30 on WTMJ. Brewers are about 24 hours away from beginning the Cactus League season against the Reds. You can hear tomorrow's game right here on WTMJ with coverage beginning at 2 o'clock. And in college basketball tonight, 16th-ranked Marquette visits Villanova. Coverage begins there at 6 on 94.5 ESPN.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We are still dealing with a crash in I-94 East, just a little bit beyond the ramp from County F in Waukesha County. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash there. I'm taking a look at the cameras for you, and I do see that a tow truck is now on the scene. Traffic is moving along slowly, though. In fact, traffic there has gotten even a little bit slower than it was when we checked in about 20 minutes ago. But good news, the tow truck is there, so hopefully the next time we check in, that accident will be cleared. I'll let you know.
Pretty nice day today, sunny with a high of 28 degrees, overnight low of 7, winds pretty calm. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and a high of 29. We get up to 38 on Sunday, let the melting begin. We get to see a little bit of rain in the evening hours. That could linger into Monday. Monday's high, 43 degrees. It is 24 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:38.
top of the show about this new app. It just debuted in the Apple App Store today. It's called Protector, and it's basically an on-demand armed guard app. You could call it like Uber or Lyft with guns.
Sure.
It allows you to hire personal armed security along with a ride. So there's thought that people are going to want this in the wake of the United Healthcare CEO being killed, which is interesting because today, boom, Luigi Mangione in court, the suspect in that case. The personnel are either credentialed active duty or retired law enforcement officers. So it's not just like Joe Schmo wants to do this and now he's going to do it. These are significant people with a lot in their background. In fact, listen to this. This is part of, I went on to go check out the app and heard this.
I did 27 years with the Los Angeles Police Department. My work ranged from military police investigations, convoy securities, PSD operations. I was stationed at the Pentagon. I've been an Air Force pararescueman for over 14 years. Currently a member of our SWAT team. I proudly serve as a commander in the United States military. Our team is comprised of current and former law enforcement officers and military personnel. We're trained in tactical combat, casualty care, risk assessment, risk mitigation, and site assessment.
They don't sound like the robot there at the end.
Yeah.
But,
fair enough.
Yeah, so the service, just like many do, it's starting in New York City and Los Angeles, and then it's looking to expand. So we'll see if something like this comes to Milwaukee. But it's basically a ride share with protection, and you can choose. It's not just like one size fits all. You can choose the motorcade that's included and how many. You can even choose the uniforms that the armed security are going to wear.
This is really interesting. I wonder if it was in development before the United Healthcare CEO murder on the streets of New York,
You
or
would think so,
if there's a reaction to it.
You can't just snap your fingers and create this. So my gut
Sure.
says yes, but I don't know that for sure.
But point being, where it's starting and where it's launching, you might have individuals who are in need of daily security as part of their everyday work life, or just where they happen to be traveling. I'd be curious to see how it spreads. I'm wondering who would need that in Milwaukee. Who would want that? Who would use that if visiting Milwaukee? Because you're also calling attention to yourself, right? Some CEOs or prominent business folks sort of blend in. You wouldn't know them from anybody else walking down the street. In the case of Luigi Mangione, he knew exactly who he was targeting. But who would be the prime candidates to use it?
Well, you think about after the case with Luigi Mangione, when the United Healthcare CEO was killed, you had a lot of businesses that were hiring security for their heads because they were worried that something like this could happen to their town people. I remember telling you, Greg, that I have one of my neighbors is one of the heads of one of our healthcare systems here. And I was curious what they were talking about as far as security. Were they concerned? I don't think you're going to see, I think you can request up to 3 Escalades, I believe. So it's not like you're going to have 10 Escalades rolling down. And that's something that here in Milwaukee would certainly grab your attention, right? I don't know, if you have 3 of them, people would take a peek at that. It kind of cracked me up, though, how you can select their uniforms. They can be, I'm looking at the 3 options here. One of them is just really casual. The other one is dressed up in a suit. The other one kind of looks like almost more like military casual. But they're putting a lot into this, and I wouldn't be surprised if another one pops up like this. I think they're going to have competition at some point.
I appreciate the level of training and expertise going into who these drivers are. It's not just, some guy with a concealed carry permit and a Toyota Camry coming to pick you up. But yeah, you can sort of build your own little motorcade, for lack of a better term.
Kind of interesting since this just debuted today, but something I'm looking at right now, I see there are actually some reviews already. Some of them say, 5 stars. This was definitely needed for the times. But one person does say, I was super excited to see this come out, but the prices are too high. I'll continue taking my chances with Uber Black. But yeah, it's not going to be cheap to do something like this.
No, absolutely not. You're hiring your own security team is what you're doing. Coming up next, as part of American Heart Month, we share the story of a heart mom who continues to draw inspiration from her heart warrior daughter. The story after this.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too, with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Hey, it's the weekend. Take your family to the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club. Half your dinners are free, even on the weekend. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds, my favorite place. The Friday fish fry is all you care to eat and one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Choice steaks, delicious seafood, mouthwatering pasta. The pecan-crusted walleye is so good. All the entrees are buy one, get one free. Desserts, too. Including that chocolate cake. Buy one, get one free. De-stress with an old-fashioned, a Manhattan. They've got 20 great bourbons, over 100 fine wines, and those 8 elegant dining rooms with real wood-burning fireplaces. Fantastic. Saturday night, your second prime rib dinner is free, only at the Fox and Hounds. The magnificent Sunday brunch is all you can eat. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive through the Kettle Moraine for your free dinner right near Holy Hill. Call and reserve your free dinner this weekend. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Namaste.
Dan, what are you doing?
Shh, you're harshing my mellow. Join me in some breathing exercises to chase away the chaos.
Let's focus on our clients since we offer an exceptional way to control the chaos.
Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space.
And we don't over-design projects, sending you 3 beautiful designs to fit your price point.
Plus, our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer.
Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices Sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
A pretty nice day today, a high of 28 degrees, sunny skies, calm winds, overnight low of 7. Tomorrow, up to 30. Sunday's high 38, Monday's high 42. Let the melting begin. It's 23 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:46. Congenital heart disease is a general term for a range of birth defects that affect the normal way the heart works. As part of American Heart Month, here's a story of a heart mom who continues to draw inspiration from her heart warrior daughter. Lori Jones has many titles. She's on the board of directors for the Children's Heart Foundation. She's the chairman of the marketing committee and secretary. Her most significant title?
Mom, which is the most important, right?
Parents of children with congenital heart disease become heart moms and heart dads. Lori learned of her unexpected title while pregnant with her second daughter, Riley.
I found out at a routine exam, I was 24 weeks pregnant, that her heart rate was half the rate it should be. They rushed me to the hospital. Nobody really knew what was going on. And then they finally figured out that she had complete congenital heart block.
Congenital heart block is a rare condition that affects the heart's electrical system, which controls and coordinates its pumping function. In infants, this process is slowed or completely interrupted. The Jones family was left uncertain of their daughter's future.
I was told that there was, hope. She would be okay, but she would probably need a pacemaker and need some sort of intervention. And at 1 year, she did need a pacemaker.
A 1-year-old child with a pacemaker for life.
When a child has a pacemaker at an early age, it's sort of a catch-22. It helps them, but it's also can cause weakness for the left ventricle. She could get a new pacemaker down the road in a few years, but that's one of the things with, these kids is they get something, maybe a fix, but then it's going to hurt their liver, it's going to hurt their kidneys, it's going to have some other repercussion.
I mentioned Lori Jones has many titles. Well, she's also an author of a children's book, Riley's Heart Machine, inspired by her daughter.
It was after her pacemaker surgery, and it was about a year later, and I started just feeling worried for her. You know, we got over that hump. We had the medical intervention, but then it was like, well, what's going to happen down the road? What if she feels bad that she has something wrong with her and something different about her? So I just started writing, and I ended up drafting the first draft of it, and then finally eventually published in 2012. I take it to schools, I visit with kids, and I love it.
Today, Riley is doing her best to live a fulfilling teenage life.
She does do dance. She's an artist.
Daily heart medication, a pacemaker, and surgeries are the norm, but so is school, friends, and the joy of being a teenager. The result of funding and research.
That is definitely the number one thing that we want to see, better outcomes for these children in surgeries, to live longer, and not just live longer, but quality of life.
Lori Jones has many titles. Her daughter can best be described in one way.
When we found this out about her, I looked it up, and I think Riley means courage, and I was like, this is perfect. Picked the perfect name for her.
Does she know she's an inspiration?
Yes, she does. She definitely does.
So Riley is currently 19 years old. She's a college freshman at Penn State, and congenital heart disease remains one of the most common birth defects in the United States. It affects 40,000 babies each year, according to the American Heart Association, and oftentimes it's detected before a child is born. In some cases, it's not detected until something else happens in their life that prompts a visit to the doctor. So it becomes very challenging to try and detect. Funding and research has certainly helped that along.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But it is so common.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, too, the importance of quality of life. That's so key, right? You don't want your child struggling with this. You want your child thriving.
She had a pacemaker installed at the age of 1. Imagine being a parent going through that with your son or daughter. It's 11:51 on WTMJ. The Week in Review is coming up next.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profile the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes.
Ryan Lathrop, school bus driver, coming his way, a semi-truck in the other lane, and it's creeping over the center line.
Tried to get around him, see if I couldn't avoid him, and he ended up going right down the side of my bus. I don't feel that I'm a hero. I did just doing my job.
Everyday Hero, Thursdays at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
Hey, thanks, Eric. Greg Matzik here for Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more, and the best in the USA. Don't believe me? Well, how about this? Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, local and family owned, has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. I get it. That's a mouthful. Hard to fit on a plaque, but they've done it. That means Pella has recognized Siding Unlimited as the best installers of their high-quality products. It's an incredible marriage, right? Pella and Siding Unlimited. Why would you do anything else? Check out Siding Unlimited for any way to beautify your home's exterior. Roofing, doors, windows, siding, you name it. Ask them about outdoor kitchens and decking projects and pergolas. They can do it all. It is Siding Unlimited. Bring some thoughts and ideas, maybe some pictures out to their showroom in Brookfield. Start the process online at sidingunlimited.com.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
A terrifying plane crash in Toronto, Wisconsin voters back at the polls, the Greek Freak returns, and more. All part of the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Joining us
boss is Ben Chan. I read somewhere that you shared an anecdote about competing against Aaron Rodgers.
The part I didn't tell on the show is the next week he came back and his team beat our team. He made sure to find me afterwards to shake my hand to let me know that he had beaten me.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Oh, no.
A Delta flight from Minneapolis to Toronto flipping over and landing on its top.
The aircraft is upside down and burning.
We just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down.
A man in his 60s and a woman in her 40s critically injured. Remarkably, no one killed.
Deadline day for MPS to reinstate school resource officers.
If they're not in the schools in the next 10 days, I will set a hearing and we will take up sanctions, contempt of court.
We're ready to accept officers as soon as they are available.
Jim Rafter is the president of the Village of Alloway, and he is with us this afternoon. You've been an advocate for this, closing the Green Bay Correctional. It's old. It feels like it's not safe. Is that a fair assessment?
It's a very accurate assessment. No amount of money is going to bring it back to a state where they can actually do their job.
City leaders are blasting Milwaukee's housing authority.
While it attempts to stand back up, it's been hit with another leg-crippling blow.
The voting begins.
Today's spring primary will narrow down the candidates for State Superintendent of Public Instruction.
Incumbent State Superintendent Jill Underly will face off against candidate Brittany Kinzer.
In Milwaukee's 3rd aldermanic district, 8 candidates are now whittled down to 2, with Alex Brower and Daniel Bauman gathering a combined 56% of the vote.
Here we go, folks.
Governor Tony Evers has laid out his vision for the 2025-27 state budget.
Needless chaos caused by the federal government in recent weeks has already made preparing a state budget that much more difficult. We prepared for the worst.
In many ways, this is kind of like the movie Back to the Future. He tried these things for the last 2, 4, and 6 years ago in his budgets.
You're gonna see some serious
Speaker said that it's Back to the Future. It's more like Groundhog Day.
Well, it's
budget session.
Day again.
Guess who's back again.
Barrett's back.
It's great to be home. It's always good to be home.
How did you like our little rendition for you right there?
I was touched by it. It nearly brought tears to my eyes.
At Milwaukee police officer injured in a shooting last week is now on his way home.
Feels great. Nothing short of a miracle from everybody involved.
We were alerted to this sort of made-for-TV, made-for-broadcast moment of this injured officer emerging with his health and his life still ahead of him. And there's this activity, and they wheeled out a stretcher. But 12 has, their photographer is now zoomed in on the stretcher coming, and no one's clapping or cheering. It occurred to me fairly quickly, that's not the guy.
That's not the cop.
That's not him.
Oh, no.
Bad news for the Milwaukee Bucks, and forward Bobby Portis suspended 25 games for a banned substance.
This happens when you're not following protocol. So this obviously was like one of those lapses.
Centering pass, McDavid scores! Connor McDavid wins it for Canada!
It's not an Olympic gold medal or anything like that, but it means the world to our group.
Accused killer Luigi Mangione, charged in December's deadly shooting of United Healthcare CEO, is due back in a Manhattan courtroom.
For the Bucks, it is the most difficult remaining schedule in all of the Eastern Conference. All right, so you're telling me there's a chance. Is that what I'm supposed to say right now?
So you're telling me there's a chance.
Oh, look out. One hand slam, and the Greek Freak is flexing again. Kuzma going to crank up a three-quarter court shot, and he hit it.
Yeah!
What are we, gang?
That's not the guy.
Barrett's back.
Douchebags.
Take care and goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Oh, always a great job. Adam Roberts puts it together. We got 2 Barrett's back renditions in there. That was nice.
Why did we think that was a good idea?
I don't know. Adam pieced it together without our consultation.
No, I mean us doing it to.
That. Well, I like the lack of polish on it. I really do.
I love that song, and I used to sing it to my dog when I came home from work. And I just, that morning, I was kind of like, I feel like we should do it. And the alliteration with Barrett, and I thought it was a great idea. And then I hear it, and...
Wait, you used to sing Barrett's back to your dog?
No, I used to sing Mama's Back.
Mama's Back. Oh, yeah. Well, that makes a lot more
Guess
sense.
who's back?
Yeah. Hey, a reminder, if you missed any bit of the Week in Review or anything we've done here on the program today, yesterday, throughout the week or month, make sure to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. It's built by Siding Unlimited, truly siding and a whole lot more. Great partners with us here at the station, and we'd like you to take us with you wherever you go. So sign up, subscribe, wherever you get your podcasts. You will find Wisconsin's Midday News. News coming up in a couple.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement.
At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. And they're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Are you ready to embark on a voyage like no other? At Fox World Travel, our specialty cruise desk creates unforgettable cruise experiences just for you. Explore the serene Mediterranean, the exotic Caribbean, or the breathtaking beauty of Alaska. We partner with top cruise lines including Celebrity, Holland America, Royal Caribbean, and Viking. Enjoy personalized itineraries, exclusive deals, and expert guidance. From booking to boarding, we manage all the details for a stress-free experience. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO, press 2, and mention code RADIO to start planning.
My USPS Ground Advantage package just left the warehouse. I get all the updates. Stay in the know with USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Tonight, the Bucks and Kuzma cash in Washington.
Inbound pass to Kuzma, catches it, lays it off the window, and good. And the Bucks will have the last laugh.
Our coverage starts at 5:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, February 21st. Your top story, a fiery rescue in Milwaukee.
I'm Jessica Ty. An update from the Vatican.
Sunny skies, a high of 28 degrees today, mostly clear tonight. Calm conditions and a low of 7 tomorrow. Warming up a little bit, a high of 30 degrees under partly cloudy skies. 24 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee. At 12:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, space heaters are being blamed for a large apartment fire early this morning on Milwaukee's far northwest side. The blaze at the Willow Court Apartments near 89th and Lynx forced 20 residents to evacuate. Crews say it appears to have been caused by space heaters being too close to flammable materials. Battalion Chief Nicholas Troust says they had to evacuate 3 people from a balcony.
We had an apartment filled with residents at the time of arrival. Beyond the complexity of fighting a fire, we also had the fact that we were trying to get a bunch of people rescued from that building as well.
No injuries have been reported. The Red Cross is assisting 7 displaced residents.
Meanwhile, one person is seriously hurt after jumping from the second story of a home to escape a fire in Fond du Lac County overnight. The fire was in the town of Midday. Crews say the people inside the home were sleeping when that fire started. Sheriff's officers say there was an explosion at the home after they arrived. 2 other people are hurt and are now in the hospital. The cause of the fire is being investigated.
Governor Tony Evers targets tax cuts for low and middle-income families, but actually calls for a net increase in $2.4 billion. TMJ4 Chief Political Correspondent Charles Benson says state Republicans will most likely shoot the proposal down.
That's where things get rewritten by Republicans who still have the majority in the Assembly and still have the majority in the Senate. So I think what's going to be interesting is always that battle around what sort of tax cuts will there be, who will get them.
The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reporting, if passed as is, the budget would drain the state's surplus and leave us in a $4 billion deficit by 2029.
The Milwaukee area's top federal prosecutor is out of a job. Gregory Hanstand was removed from his position as U.S. Attorney for Wisconsin's Eastern District. The move comes as President Trump continues removing Biden-era judges across the country. Richard Froling will serve as acting U.S. Attorney for the district until a replacement is named.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Hamas will, in his own words, pay for not returning the body of hostage Shiri Bibas, along with the bodies of her 2 young sons.
Who kidnaps a little boy and a baby and murders them? Monsters, that's who. These Hamas monsters also cynically refuse to bring back the boy's mother, Shiri, and send the body of a Gazan woman instead.
The first phase of the fragile Gaza ceasefire ends next week.
Pope Francis remains at a Rome hospital this afternoon dealing with double pneumonia. Here's an update.
The Pope's medical team has just given an update on his condition. They say it is not life-threatening, but he isn't out of the woods yet. The 88-year-old pontiff is being treated for double pneumonia on top of chronic bronchitis. He's already been in the hospital for 1 week, and the doctors say he'll be there at least another week longer. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is currently down nearly 600 points after major losses on Thursday. Back at it again today, sitting at 43,581. The Nasdaq off nearly 300 points at 19,664. Nasdaq down about 75 today at 6,045. Financial planning at every level. It's Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
A reunion of sorts for the Bucks tonight. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
Grab your to-do list and head to Fleet Farm for Project Days, happening now through the 26th. Carhartt fans get a free $20 gift card with every $100 worth of Carhartt gear. Good on your next Fleet Farm purchase. Sprout Sweet Mix for horses and livestock is just $8.99 a bag. And save $50 on a Milwaukee M18 Compact Brushless Drill Driver Kit, now only $149. And save big on Milwaukee tools during Milwaukee Deal Days, February 20th through the 26th at Fleet Farm.
Love snow blowing your driveway or shoveling your sidewalk? Yeah, right. Well, if you lived in a brand new Cornerstone development community, someone else handles those duties. Buy a brand new home in the Grove in River Hills, the Glen at Stonewall Farms in Grafton, the Glen at Standing Stone in Waukesha, or the Glen at Wanakee in Menominee Falls, and they take care of the maintenance. All built with your selection of finishes. If you downsize, there's a clubhouse for when you temporarily need to upsize. Take a virtual tour and see for yourself at cornerstonedevelopment.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Well, the Bucks will see a familiar face tonight in the nation's capital. They take on Chris Middleton and the Washington Wizards. In fact, Middleton will be making his Wizards debut.
I am going to be here as a mentor and whatnot, but, I want Wizards fans to know that I'm not here just to be a mentor. I'm here to be a basketball player and compete out there and help win games.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:30 on WTMJ. The Brewers begin Cactus League play in about 24 hours. Call it 26, 2 o'clock tomorrow's first pitch from sunny Arizona. You can hear the game right here on WTMJ. College basketball tonight, 16th-ranked Marquette on the road at Villanova. Hear that game on 94.5 ESPN at 6 o'clock. And 11th-ranked Wisconsin takes on Oregon at the Kohl Center Saturday morning at 11. Badgers Sports Updates, sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. The crashes have cleared. Great news there for a Friday afternoon. We'll hope it stays that way. A couple disabled vehicles out in the system. Most are not causing any problems. The latest one is 4194 South, a little bit beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 158. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. Now, I want to let you know about this one. It's actually not too far from Ukes Harley-Davidson, the dealership there. I want to let you know about this one because it's a big truck that's off to the side. So some people are slowing down to kind of just take a peek at it. It's been out there almost an hour now. Once again, 4194 South, beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 158. A big box truck broken down on the side of the road.
Sunny skies today and a high of 28. Clear tonight and a low of 7. Cloudy on Saturday and a high of 29. Rain and warmer temperatures move in on Sunday with a high of 38. Monday and Tuesday, we're looking at highs in the low to mid 40s. 26 degrees and sunny. Pretty nice day here in downtown Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that Chris Middleton was making his Wizards debut tonight. They had the All-Star break. Of course, Middleton's got a young family here, so it probably takes a minute to get organized and get set up in a new place for the rest of the season. But amazing that he makes his debut against the team he starred for and became an all-star with.
That kind of crushes our hearts, though, here in Milwaukee. It is interesting about the timing of how quickly these guys can move. I was thinking about that last night at the Bucks game because Marjon Beauchamp was back, but for the other team, for the Clippers, so he's there on the sidelines. And it was interesting because he was kind of facing us at one point and just looking around. And I thought it is different. Like, I wonder what he's thinking right now as he comes back to Milwaukee and he looks at the stands and all the Milwaukee fans. I'm sure he's going to have a blast in L.A. and in that atmosphere. But this Bucks team is something special, and the guys on the team. So I kind of want to jump in his head. Like, what's he thinking right now?
Yeah, Giannis joked the other day when asked about playing against Middleton. He said, I'm not going to smile at him, not going to look at him, not going to shake his hand, not going to give him a hug. This is all business, and certainly that will not be the case.
You know there's going to be a big hug.
They are very, very good friends. Yes, indeed. It's 12:10 here on WTMJ. We flip to the noon hour and come on some big stories here this afternoon.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Big news for Mayfair Mall in Wauwatosa today. Scheels will open in the former Boston store space after a full renovation and expansion. Scheels is a sporting goods store headquartered in Fargo, North Dakota. The store will employ more than 500 people, so that makes it one of Wauwatosa's largest employers once it gets here. Scheels owns and operates 34 stores in 16 states. It's mostly in the Midwest. There are 2 stores right now in Wisconsin. There's one up in Appleton and the other in Eau Claire. Boston store, think about this, closed at Mayfair back in 2018. It's been a while now, and that spot has been vacant ever since. It's a big spot. I mean, so that was a big empty space that the city was, hoping to fill. Of course, Mayfair hoping to fill it. Scheels plans to open in that space in the spring of 2027.
These are massive stores. I have only been in a Scheels at the Mall of America, but I've only known of Scheels to be anchor stores in a mall, not standalone stores, kind of like a Dick's Sporting Goods could be. Where Scheels is a little different. It's kind of a hybrid of Dick's Sporting Goods, Gander Mountain, REI, it's all of that. And being headquartered in Fargo, North Dakota, with stores in Minneapolis and many in the Midwest, it really caters to the outdoor enthusiast with all the everyday baseball, basketball, team uniform kind of appeal. So it's a big store. It'll fill the space. But we've talked about this multiple times, just the nature of malls these days and how do they thrive and how do they stay relevant? Not easy to do.
Well, and actually, I said when I was calling to set up something with the mayor of Wauwatosa today, I said, kudos for what Mayfair has done, because I was just walking through Brookfield Square about a week or so ago. We were talking about this, Greg. I mean, it was dead. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I used to go to Brookfield Square as a kid, went to Mayfair as a kid, too. I tend to go to Mayfair more now just because living downtown, I tend to end up there more than Brookfield Square. But I just couldn't believe all the empty stores. I mean, it takes work and creativity to fill these malls these days.
Number 2, inching closer to SROs at Milwaukee Public Schools.
That's 9 ayes. The motion passes.
Yeah, that was the vote last night. The MPS board voting unanimously to approve a funding package of nearly $800,000 a year to staff 25 Milwaukee police officers across the district. Now, keep in mind, this should have happened about a year ago, but it's still kind of being delayed. This is all per a judge's recent order that the amount here, this $800,000, will be roughly half the cost. MPS originally agreed to pay 33% of the cost. City's going to be on the hook for the other half. In accordance with the Act 12 law, SROs were due to be staffed in MPS buildings back in January of 2024. But now there's a deadline. Milwaukee County Judge David Borowski put the deadline in place. The plan needs to be solid by February 27th.
You have a new incentive to submit your 2024 federal income tax return early. ABC's Jim Ryan says It's called Doge.
Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency has announced the firing of 6,000 workers at the Internal Revenue Service. The layoffs officially do not target tax return processors, but an industry publication for tax professionals urges Americans to submit their returns as early as possible to avoid any future delays.
Looks like those numbers now up to 6,700. IRS fires 6,700 workers amid tax filing season.
Are you an early filer? Oh, wait, no, you said your husband likes to file an extension sometimes.
Oh, gosh. It's so funny. We mentioned that on the show, and then somebody at a Bucks game came up and said, you file your extension yet? My husband was like, what? And I was like, oh, you were listening to the show.
I feel like that'll be my plan this weekend. I like to get it done in February.
Yeah, you like to get it done early. When I was doing them myself, I was never early. I dreaded doing taxes. Oh, man. I would kind of wait, but not for any particular reason. But
it's not fun.
Yeah. But my husband has reasons. Like, he's strategic with why he does it. I don't know. I'm just like, just please do it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. 12:14 on WTMJ. We usually check in with him on Wednesdays, but Scott McFarland was locked up in a courtroom. I don't think it was his own case. He was certainly covering something, but hey, I guess I could be wrong. Scott's going to join us, our CBS congressional correspondent from Capitol Hill. He's with us after this.
While the Wizards have had a brutal year, at least they stay on brand by making all their wins disappear.
The Hoopers in our nation's capital went a full month without winning a game. It's not even American.
The Bucks head to D.C. to take on the Wizards.
Pocket pass to Giannis, who soars in and plunges it through with a one-hand slam.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true, but offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? We are too. At Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. We're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. That's right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Wintrust.com. Wintrust, different approach, better results. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Sunny skies today, a high of 28 degrees. Calm conditions, an overnight low of 7. Tomorrow we get up to 30. Sunday's high 38. Back into the 40s for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Might bring some rain into the forecast as well. A lot of melting going to happen here toward the end of the weekend and early next week. It is 25 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 12-17. Time for a weekly check-in with CBS congressional correspondent and lover of all things 90s R&B. It's Scott McFarland. Hey, Scott.
Hey, and thanks for pulling out a one-hit wonder. That's Portrait with Here I Go Again, and it's from 1993.
Oh, got the year, too.
Wow.
Well done.
I wasn't so sure about this. The only thing that sounded kind of familiar was like that all of a sudden when the guy pops in with, here we go again. But that could be any song.
I thought that was going to be the trigger. I thought maybe for Scott. I let it play out a little longer than usual here, but Scott's on it.
Gosh, we can never stump him well.
2 seconds.
Well, here we go again.
Had it in about 2 seconds. All right, so Scott, so typically we check in on Wednesdays, and you said you were all locked up in a courtroom. I assume you were covering a case. It wasn't your own. What had you locked up in a courtroom on Wednesday?
New York City Mayor Eric Adams was in court Wednesday afternoon, and that's not just a parochial local story in New York City. It is so much bigger.
And it impacts every federal courthouse in America, including the ones in Wisconsin. We can explain why. A judge a few minutes ago decided Eric Adams' criminal case will continue for now, even though the Department of Justice and Trump's new appointees at the Department of Justice are trying to dismiss it. You'll recall that New York's mayor was charged with corruption, trading official government acts for gifts and travel perks. He pleaded not guilty, but all of a sudden when Trump took office, he had his Department of Justice try to dismiss the case of Eric Adams, making the argument that they need Eric Adams free from this case so that he can help Trump enact border policies. Let me tell you, that is not usually why the Department of Justice takes or drops cases for policy or political reasons. It's supposed to be for the facts of the case. So that has caused an uproar. And a judge has not agreed yet to dismiss the case, saying he wants to hear more arguments, because if this is allowed here, it could impact what the Department of Justice does in every federal court in America, from Wisconsin to Washington to Wyoming. And there are concerns that's too much leverage and too much political power for a Department of Justice to wield.
Yeah, so that's breaking news there in a nutshell. Federal judge vacating the upcoming trial date for New York City Mayor Eric Adams, but declining to immediately dismiss the charges altogether. We love that breaking news from you. Wanted to ask also about Kash Patel. He was just confirmed by the Senate yesterday as director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Is he at FBI headquarters inside working today?
Yeah, as we speak, he's now in his new office at the FBI headquarters here in Washington. He'll take a formal oath and swear the ceremonial oath at about 3:30 p.m. Central Time. That notwithstanding, Kash Patel has already exerted some form of influence on this FBI, on this amazingly historic and amazingly powerful Bureau of Investigation. He has said he will try to depoliticize it. He will likely bring in some of his own loyalists, some of his own supporters in here, but he's changed it because he's changed the whole maxim of the agency. The Bureau is to be independent of the White House, independent of politics. But Kash Patel got this job after being an ardent loyalist of Donald Trump. And to a degree, the president kind of boxed out the previous director to quit early. This is supposed to be a 10-year term for an FBI director, and the previous director, Chris Wray, quit early knowing Trump was going to fire him anyhow. And it appears, at least at this moment, like FBI directors are now political appointees, not independent voices. And that's a sea change for a century-old bureau.
Scott, do we anticipate Kash Patel coming in with a chainsaw and wielding it above his head, like Elon Musk did, wearing all black in a very bizarre
really
scene?
Hope not. That's a fair question. We really hope there's nothing powerful or gas-powered in the building, but metaphorically he is, yeah. I mean, he's there to be a change agent. He said in his confirmation hearings he would be a change agent. So the metaphor still applies, but I'm going to hope there's no power tools nearby.
Geez, yeah, with that chainsaw, too, when we're talking about Doge and just all the cuts that are happening, what is the reaction to that? I mean, I imagine there's some people who think this is charming. They want cuts to the federal government. They think it's too big. And then others are saying, what the heck? This is cringy. People are losing their jobs.
Let's see how well that holds up politically. Whether or not these cuts, these mass cuts to tens, if not hundreds of thousands of federal workers, including in our area, whether they have an impact on the services you and I consume, that's one thing. Whether it impacts your wait time at the local VA clinic or VA hospital because they've cut VA workers, that's an open question. Whether it's harder to get a passport or to get some type of check or benefit from the government because of these cuts, or whether it's harder to get to a national park, it's all to be determined in the coming weeks or months. But whether there's a political downside, it's becoming clear there's going to be one, because Republicans are already getting heckled at their town hall meetings over these cuts because of the speed of them, because of the, to a degree, critics say, the recklessness of them. You know, cut first, think about it second. That's going to be an issue, because if it becomes politically disastrous to support these major cuts to government, you're going to see members of Congress start to kick back at this.
Well, Scott, to that end,
the president's numbers too.
Yeah, well, you know, to your point, the court system is attempting to slow the pace of the Fed department bulldozing, for lack of a better word, but Trump's team is also clicking up wins here on a weekly basis. Is there any reason to think that it won't continue?
Even if the court stops some of what the president's trying to do, that means the court's not stopping all of what the president's trying to do. Some of the Trump allies in Washington say you throw enough stuff out there, some of it's going to stick. And that's part strategy, part fortuitous for the president. Some of these cuts are in the domain of the executive branch, which means some of these cuts can be made without Congress approving, and they're going to go through. Courts are not going to stop that. But the president is encroaching on some of what Congress is there for, to cut or change agencies they authorized and that they've appropriated for. Those are the ones that are going to get stuck in the courts. And I think these legal battles, which are already nearing 100 federal legal challenges since January 20th, are going to multiply because of it.
Scott, do you think we'll get a Doge dividend check?
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because you can see the political popularity of that. And Elon Musk saying it out loud probably satisfies some number of Americans. But the House Speaker is like, no. We're supposed to pay down the debt with this money.
Right. The
whole point of cutting is to pay off the bills that have been accrued. So you see a wedge issue already there inside the Republican Party. We'll see who prevails.
Hey, Scott, it's been kind of quiet on the ICE front, right? As soon as, Trump took office, the inauguration happened, boy, it seemed like boom, boom, boom. The mass deportations, it was happening at a rapid rate. Donald Trump wanted to keep that gas pedal to the floor. I haven't heard as much about that in what they're finding on the deportation front. I don't know if it's getting sort of lost in the shuffle of everything else that's happening, but where does it stand? Is the president still satisfied with the direction and the progress?
It's hard to say if he's satisfied with it, but we know he's promised a larger-than-life deportation effort when he took office, and we haven't witnessed a orders of magnitude larger deportation effort that was underway in the final months of the Biden administration. So there may be some sense the president and the administration want to ratchet up the deportations, and not sure how that's possible. If it was possible, it likely would have been done many months ago, if not years ago. So there's probably some pressure on ICE. There's probably some pressure on the federal agencies that help with deportations because the numbers aren't jumping off the page as millions of deportations or a record-breaking deportations the way they were promised on the campaign trail.
Always great information. Great to connect with Scott McFarland, our CBS congressional correspondent. Scott, we'll do it again next week.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
12:25 on WTMJ. News coming up in just a few minutes. Just keep in mind, if you've not subscribed to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, boy, it's a great time to do it. Take us with you wherever you go. Listen at your leisure. Handpick your topics and interview segments, whatever you want. Wherever you get your podcasts, find Wisconsin's Midday News. It's sponsored by Siding Unlimited.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Cornerstone Development. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Well, the weekend is almost here, but you don't have to wait for the weekend to enjoy all that's new at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Just stop in, see what I'm talking about, and experience what I've been fortunate enough to experience. 2,000 square foot video wall, great food coming out of the kitchen, wonderful full-service bar, even a VIP deck if you're looking for a more private gathering. They got you covered here. It's the best place to watch sports in the state. Really, nothing even close to it. Never seen anything quite like it here in Wisconsin. Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee is where you're going to find it. The beautiful new Potawatomi Sportsbook. Stop in, check it out, and enjoy some time watching games with your friends.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, February 21st. Your top story, committing six figures for school resource officers.
I'm Jessica Ty. A frightening fire in Fond du Lac County.
Sunny skies, a high of 28 today. Clear tonight and a low of 7. Clouds return on Saturday with a high of 30 degrees. We're back into the 40s to start the work week. Rain in the forecast as well. It's currently 26 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A federal judge has indefinitely adjourned Eric Adams' criminal trial as he weighs a Justice Department request to dismiss it.
District Judge Dale Ho appeared skeptical of the federal government's request to drop the criminal corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. In an order Friday, Judge Ho did not dismiss the case, but adjourned the trial indefinitely. He says it's clear it will not happen in April. He says the key questions at play still need to be tested, so he's appointed former Solicitor General Paul Clement to argue the merits of the government's choices. Brian Clark, ABC News, New York.
Governors from around the country gathering in Washington, D.C. for their annual conference. President Trump delivering remarks today, touting his efforts to cut federal spending and also bring an end to the war in Ukraine. The latest layoffs taking place at the IRS, some 6,000 workers expected to lose their jobs. Pope Francis not out of danger yet as he battles pneumonia, but doctors in Rome say he's not in jeopardy of dying from the virus. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31.
That's 9 ayes. The motion passes.
Nearly $800,000 in funding for school resource officers receives approval from Milwaukee Public Schools.
Now the district says the ball lies in the city's court, with their plan to split the cost for SROs down the middle sent to the city attorney's office. Board President Marva Herndon.
We're ready to accept officers as soon as they are available.
The move late Thursday came after an irate Judge David Borowski set a new SRO deal deadline earlier this week.
I take a dim view of elected officials thinking that they're above the law. They're not, at least in this court. So this is going to get resolved.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Financial hardship forces a Wisconsin college focused on environmental studies and liberal arts to close. The interim president is now reacting.
Beginning over 130 years ago, Northland College has served the lakeshore communities of northern Wisconsin, northeast Minnesota, and the UP.
Immigrants, loggers, men and women. We've served Native American.
Interim President Barb Lundberg tells WTMJ that declining enrollment can hit small private institutions the hardest, where resources are stretched thin.
If you're large or small, you still have to have certain key functions. You know, you have to have a financial aid office. You have to have a registrar's office. You have to have all of these things.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Well, one person seriously injured fleeing a house fire in Fond du Lac County overnight by jumping from the second story of the burning home. Crews say the occupants of a home in the town of Midday were sleeping when the fire began and leapt from the second story to escape the blaze. Sheriff's officers say an explosion happened after they arrived. 2 other people are hurt and currently in the hospital. The cause of the blaze is unknown.
Another water main break in West Allis. The main break on 117th and Hayes is near Nathan Hale High School. Officials say the school's water service is not expected to be impacted, but people who live west of 117th between Harrison and Hayes will be without water until that water main is repaired. Work on the main should be completed in about an hour here by 1:30. Road repairs will take place next week.
Governor Tony Evers wants more money to go towards education and tax cuts in his biennial budget proposal. TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter Charles Benson tells WTMJ while the governor has a hard time getting budgets approved by state Republicans, he has been able to pull off some compromises.
I think as you watch this all unfold, which should be now over the next several months, the goal is always to have a budget sometime by the end of June. And I think that will help us determine just where he might be willing to compromise when it comes to the Republicans, which he's done in the past around tax cuts.
The deadline to approve the 2-year state budget is June 30th.
A new anchor tenant is coming to Mayfair Mall in Wauwatosa.
A sporting goods store called Shields will move into the vacant Boston store at the mall. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says Shields will stock sporting goods, footwear, along with equipment like golf clubs, bats, archery bows, bicycles, and more. The Shields will also include Gina's Cafe, a coffee shop, and a Fuzzy-Wig's candy shop. The paper says Shields plans to open at the mall in 2 years. There are 2 other Shields in the state, one in Appleton, the other in Eau Claire. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A bit of a reunion for the Bucks tonight in the nation's capital. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 12:35.
Fall in love with your vision with a new style from Shopko Optical. Use your vision benefits and schedule an annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopko Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Treat yourself to a new style. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Here at Richlands, we offer both comfort service and expert service.
Our comfort service comes with movie theater popcorn, hot gourmet coffee, upfront pricing, on-time scheduling, plus anything else we can do to keep you comfortable.
Put that on top of honest service from the most friendliest, hard-working people you'll ever meet inside a tire and service center. And well, we'd like to believe we're on the right track to meeting your expectations.
But when your check engine light, tire light, or any other light screams, "Service me," well, that means you're due for our other type of service.
Our expert service. Tires, brakes, belts, mufflers, transmissions, and even engine repair.
Come on into Richlands and put our expert service to the test.
And while you're relaxing, enjoy our comfort services too. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, your
due for service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Well, the Bucks are back in action tonight, one night after knocking off the Clippers at Fiserv Forum. The Bucks are in the nation's capital to take on former teammate Chris Middleton and the Wizards. Coverage gets underway at 5:30 on WTMJ. Brewers begin the Cactus League season tomorrow in Arizona against the Reds. Hear the game on WTMJ at 2 o'clock. And in college basketball tonight at 16th-ranked Marquette at Villanova. Hear the game on 94.5 ESPN at 6.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson and Sons paving time saver traffic. We're doing pretty good. No crashes out on the system. We love that. We'll keep our fingers crossed it stays that way as the afternoon continues and people head home and maybe off to some travels for the weekend. We do have a few disabled vehicles out of the system, most of them not causing any problems. So what I do want to let you know about, just because it's a big box truck off to the side of the road, so some people are slowing down just to take a peek at it. 4194 South, just a little bit beyond the ramp from Wisconsin to 158. Right shoulder is blocked there due to a big box truck that's off to the side of the road. That's down in the Kenosha area.
Sunny skies today and a high of 28 degrees. Pretty nice day today. Calm conditions, overnight low of 7. Tomorrow we get back up to about 30 or so. Sunday's high 38 degrees. By Monday we are back in the 40s. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday looking like 40s and maybe even some rain. A lot of melting going to happen this weekend. It's 26 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38.
The 2025 Milwaukee Auto Show starts tomorrow at the Baird Center. It's a great opportunity to check out the latest cars, trucks, EVs, and more. Auto Trader senior editor Eric Brandt joins us in the studio to showcase what's new, what's hot, and what's affordable, because sometimes that's hard to find. Thanks for being here today.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
We thought you might drive over in a really cool car, but the Baird Center is so close, you just walked over.
Yeah, I just walked over here from the show floor. But there were a lot of cool cars at the show in the Baird Center.
I can't wait to see them. I remember years ago going to the Milwaukee Auto Show and opening up the door of one of the cars and seeing the brand logo revealed on the ground. It was like a cool welcome sign.
Called a puddle lamp.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think that same car had a dashboard that could change colors. So it was all kinds of cool stuff. When it comes to new technology, what's cool for tech in 2025 when it comes to cars?
Well, one thing that's getting more popular every year is hands-free driving. One car that we were just looking at the show was the Cadillac Escalade IQ, which is the all-electric version of the Escalade. And it has a feature called Super Cruise, and there's a light on the steering wheel, and when it turns green, you can take your hands off of the wheel. But you still have to keep your eyes on the road. You can't take a nap when you're driving quite yet, but that's something that's getting more popular. Ford has their own system that's very similar. So there's hands-free driving tech, there's safety tech, infotainment technology, where you can project your phone on the screen in the car. So stuff like that is getting very popular.
The Escalade is like a rolling nightclub. The thing is unbelievable. It's ridiculous what they've done with it. Yeah, the Navigator kind of falls into that same category with Lincoln. The amount of tech that is going into vehicles, do you find that it's so appealing to some, but maybe almost a deterrent for others?
Yeah, I could see that. Some of these cars, like that Escalade I was just talking about, it's got a 55-inch display that goes all the way across the dashboard. And some people find that a little bit overwhelming, but that's kind of where the more affordable cars come in. There's not as much, overwhelming technology like that in a more affordable car. And we were just looking at a lot of great cars that are available starting at under $25,000.
Okay. So, Grandpa's not choosing the Escalade.
Maybe not.
But, yeah. But when you talk about affordable cars, so you mentioned that price tag. I think a lot of people want to know what is affordable these days. What brands have affordable cars that look like maybe good bets? I know you can't buy the car at the auto show, but you can go and shop around and get a lot of good knowledge.
Yeah, there are a lot of good brand new cars that just came out in that price range. One really good one is the Kia K4. That's a brand new model. It's a compact sedan that starts in the low $20,000 range. The Nissan Kicks is a small SUV that starts at around the same price, under $25,000. And another one was the Subaru Impreza. That's one that you get with standard all-wheel drive at that similar price point, under $25,000.
Yeah, Subarus are bulletproof, right? If you want something to last forever, it's a Subaru.
Ratings, yeah.
Eric Brandt joining us, editor for Auto Trader, based out of Green Bay, which we found out moments ago. Is there a big focus on EVs at this year's auto show? And when I say that, are they on display like they have been in years past, or are manufacturers kind of dialing that back and maybe showcasing more hybrids or combustion engine?
Well, that's a great thing about the show this year is the variety that's on the show floor. So there are still new electric vehicles coming out every year. There are a bunch of them you can see at the show, but there are also a lot of hybrids, a lot of plug-in hybrids, and of course just regular gas and diesel engines. So that's a really nice thing where you can go and see all that variety.
I have, and I'm kind of curious to see what your take is on this. We have two cars in the family, but one we call it the airport car. It's a 2007 Nissan Altima.
Okay.
Since you're a car guy, what are your thoughts on that? Are you like, wow, that's still rolling around okay on the roads?
No, it's, a lot of people have maybe an older car like that, but if it's safe and reliable and if it gets you around, it gets you to the airport, sometimes that's all you need. So, but again, even if you're not necessarily in the market for a new car, the Milwaukee Auto Show is a great place to go and see what's out there. Maybe if you haven't even sat in a new car in a long time, like you were just talking about that technology, the puddle lamps, the impressive screens and stuff. Some technology you might not even know existed is out there.
I didn't know it was called a puddle lamp. I always thought it was a gobo.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah,
either.
that's what they do at concerts, right? There's the light
sure,
above a stage that shines down some kind of logo on the stage floor. They used to call that a gobo. I like puddle lamp a little better.
I don't know. When I opened it up, I thought, wow, that's cool. But that was years ago. That's why the technology has changed so much. When I was checking out your bio, I read that you are an unapologetic minivan enthusiast.
Absolutely. I have 5 children, and I personally have a Honda Odyssey. That's my car. So
there you go. So I think there are a lot of people out there, though, when it comes to the minivan. We don't always talk about minivans, but there are a lot of parents out there who say, okay, maybe I need a new minivan. What's out there when it comes to that market?
Well, like that variety I was just talking about, there are hybrid minivans now. The Toyota Sienna comes exclusively with a hybrid powertrain that gets up to 36 miles per gallon. The Kia Carnival has a hybrid option now. You can get a plug-in hybrid Chrysler Pacifica, and now there's the all-electric Volkswagen ID Buzz, which is one of the coolest-looking cars at the show this year. It's that the return of the old Volkswagen bus. It's all-electric, but of course, if you still want just a regular V6 engine, that's still available in the minivan class as well. So even in a small class like minivans, there's a lot of variety.
Eric, are you a large or medium? I just ordered you a shirt. It says minivan mega fun. Is that okay?
Medium's good.
And we got it sent your way.
Okay. Ship it to Green Bay.
Minivans, of course, broke in. I mean, back when I was a little kid, all of a sudden the Dodge Caravan took everybody by storm. Everybody else had these giant conversion vans, right, with like a bed in the back, and you could watch movies with a TV VHS combo. Now you've got second row seating that is fully reclinable. Like you can lay down in these things. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Kia Carnival is one of them. I think they call it the VIP lounge seating. And yeah, they're these big fancy seats in the second row of a minivan, and they can recline back. And it's they've gotten much more luxurious than you might expect if you haven't been in a minivan in a while.
I'm curious if there are any Teslas out there, because years ago there was a Tesla, even though you couldn't buy one here in Wisconsin. So I asked a lot of questions about it. I got a chance to peek at it right now. Tesla's controversial, of course. You have some people like Sheryl Crow who just posted on social media, saying she was selling it, bye-bye. But there are other people who are very intrigued and want to know more about them. Is there a Tesla at the auto show this year?
No Tesla presence at the auto show because you still can't buy one in Wisconsin. We have Tesla showrooms and service centers here and there in Wisconsin, but you still can't actually buy the car in Wisconsin. You have to go to Chicago or Minneapolis or somewhere outside of the state.
It's a great auto show. I think Wisconsin and Milwaukee do a great job. I know the Chicago one was recently completed. I talked to my brother about that, and he said, yeah, it's great, but not all the manufacturers are there. And you can't get as close to some of the vehicles you want to get close to. And I feel like you do have that access with most models in Milwaukee. I think they kind of lock up the Range Rovers and Volvos in their own little showroom, but nonetheless, you can really get up close and personal with these.
Yeah, well, this year they are all on the same show floor. Last year they were in separate rooms. There was like a luxury car room.
Yeah.
But in the new Baird Center, it's big enough that they put all the cars on one floor, which is really nice, and 24 different brands are represented. So, you can see a little bit of everything.
Okay, before we let you go, besides the Escalade, if you could rattle off one or two more cars, the coolest cars that if you were going, you can't miss them, you got to find them.
Oh boy, the coolest cars. Well, another one that we were just looking at was the Dodge Charger Daytona, which is another all-electric car. It's an electric muscle car, and it makes a V8-like sound on the outside. So you hit the gas pedal, you rev it up, and it makes that sound even though it's all electric. So that's another cool one. There's the new Toyota Land Cruiser. That's kind of an off-road SUV, and that's also a hybrid. That's kind of one of the highlights of the show this year. So there's almost too much cool stuff to rattle off, and some cool custom stuff, some cool classic cars. It's not just new cars at the show either.
Is there a Batmobile again? Did they bring one of those back?
Not this year. I didn't see one this year.
Okay,
no.
well, they've had that in years past. Not allowed to sit in it, which is probably a good idea. Very cool stuff. The auto show is up and running here, and it's a great time at the Baird Center. All new. If you've not seen the Baird Center, too, by the way, it's a great opportunity to check out this beautiful new event space recently completed. Eric Brand is editor for Auto Trader. Enjoy your time at the auto show, Eric. Thanks for joining us.
You bet. Thank you.
Have a blast. I love that there's plenty of time to go see it, too. Starts tomorrow, runs through March 2nd.
Love it. 1247 on WTMJ. Some stories from Off the Beaten Path coming up.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions, get answers. Connect today toll-free, 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. Boy, they do it right at Palermo's, celebrating 60 years of making the best tasting frozen pizzas you will find. I'm a big fan of the Screamin' Sicilian, and if you are too, well, you're in luck here. How about this? Screamin' Sicilian Detroit style and stuffed crust pizza at Piggly Wiggly through the 25th for $7. $6.99 at Piggly Wiggly. Grab a Screamin' Sicilian Detroit style and stuffed crust pizza. Just delicious. If you're doing it with Palermo's, you are doing it right. Why not put it on the dinner table tonight? Everyone's going to be happy with Wisconsin's hometown pizza. It is Palermo's.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Family owned, family operated, family priced. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected. And no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at goconnectchiro.com.
The wait is over. Brewers baseball is back. Time to pick your Brewers games and get back to the ballpark for tailgate traditions and walk-off wins. Be here for opening day. Come back for the big games and the best giveaways. Where else would you want to be? Brewers tickets for the 2025 season are on sale now. That's opening day and every game, all summer long. Get on board for the show today. Grab your seats at brewers.com/ticket finder.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Heartbreak Officer Brian Wickert. While national headlines talk about the inventory of homes for sale being a lot higher this year, that's still not the case in most of Wisconsin. The good news is that now, even in winter, AccuNet's experienced loan consultants are already helping many of our pre-approved home shoppers become homeowners and avoid the heartbreak of losing in a multi-offer situation. Sure, you can go with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, or you can present your offer with an AccuNet rock-solid, fully verified, and guaranteed pre-approval that also might come with the phrase that really makes sellers happy: no appraisal required. When an appraisal is needed, we can also show you in dollars and cents what it means to willingly pay a certain dollar amount over the appraised value if that's what's needed to win, which is usually a lot less scary than people imagine. Reduce your risk of home shopper heartbreak by getting started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
A pretty good stretch of weather here beginning today with a high of 28 degrees under mostly sunny skies. Still cold tonight with a low of 7 degrees inland. Up to 30 on Saturday under partly cloudy skies. 38 the high on Sunday. 42 and rain expected on Monday. It's 26 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:51.
It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Birkenstocks back in the day?
I wanted to, but I never got some. I had Tevas. It was more of an athletic kind of hiking
those.
sandal.
Well, Birkenstocks were all the rage. I didn't personally wear them, but all my girlfriends had them. I mean, the guys had them. They were so popular. It's an iconic German shoe. And it's many things. It's practical. It's comfortable. Some would say stylish. I didn't really find them stylish, which is why I didn't wear them. But here's a question for you. Is a Birkenstock art? Is the shoe art? Well, personally, I find the question strange. ABC's Brian Clark says that was at the center of a multi-million-dollar legal dispute. Is a Birkenstock art?
Birkenstocks are cool. They even showed up in the Barbie movie. But are they art? Germany's top civil court says no. Birkenstock's request to label the iconic shoe as art would have given it stronger copyright protections from copycats under German law. But the presiding judge said that to be considered art, a degree of design must be achieved that shows individuality. Birkenstock says it continues to exhaust all legal means to defend itself. Brian Clark, ABC News.
This is a legal drama that was unfolding for nearly 2 years. I hadn't heard about it until now, until the judge basically said, no, Birkenstocks, not art.
Isn't art anything you believe it to be?
Well, some people would say that.
Right? Didn't somebody duct tape a banana to a wall and it went for $1 million or something ridiculous?
Yeah, didn't that person buy it for $1 million
Doesn't
and
make
then
a lot
take
of
it down
sense.
and eat it?
Yeah. Seems like a waste.
Art.
It's a very expensive banana. Sydney, Australia. Hello. You've heard of fortune cookies, right?
Oh, I love a good fortune cookie.
How about a misfortune cookie?
Oh.
There is a restaurant, a Vietnamese restaurant in Sydney, Australia that has fortunes of a different kind. You might get a fortune cookie from this place in Sydney that says, your divorce is coming soon. Or, I only marry you for your money, you ugly blank.
Whoa!
How about this one? You will die alone and poorly dressed. Miss Fortune cookies. But everybody who goes to the restaurant knows that you're going to walk into this crazy world. You don't know what you're going to get.
Those are harsh, though.
If you got a snarky sense of humor and grew up enjoying Far Side comics, you're probably going to really enjoy these and maybe get a laugh. Here's where the story takes a left turn. The owner of this restaurant got a shipment of fortune cookies. Lo and behold, bit into one and opened it, and it was a pleasant message with lucky numbers. Uh-oh. Issue. The
Didn't like
misfortune
that?
cookies were accidentally sent to a different restaurant.
No. Oh, that's the best.
Shocking the group of people who opened those fortune cookies to find a misfortune on the piece of paper inside the cookie.
Oh, that's a great twist.
So the restaurant owner calls the manufacturer and says, hey, what happened here? Hey, had a mix-up. And by the way, here's my new order and what I want printed. Well, the company fired back and said, no, we're done. We're not doing this. All the backlash, all the emails that came through. What is this? Why would you do this to us? They are out of the business of printing the misfortunes.
You're kidding.
On the misfortune cookies.
They went out of business?
Well, they're deciding not to print the misfortune. They're staying in business, but they're saying, look, you want to do this? Can we get back to doing the original, the OG?
Oh.
Right, just nice messages.
Oh, that's so good, though.
Right?
You win today.
You're going to
this
have a
weekend,
prosperous
that one.
2025.
That's so good. Have you found lately, though, sometimes you pull out the fortune and it's not really a fortune? It's just like a statement?
Yes, it is more of a statement. You still have lucky numbers on the back, I think.
I don't like that, though. It's like it's supposed to be a fortune. What? The statement?
Management has decided to no longer accept customized orders with offensive or expletive words, according to an email from the manufacturer of these cookies. Can you imagine the other restaurant?
That's great, though.
I imagine that these don't come in like a box of like 50, right? Like if you get a box of fortune cookies,
no.
a couple thousand in there.
I mean, you think about it. When I order just for two of us, usually they put 4 fortune cookies in there. So, yeah, I mean, you're getting boxes and boxes and boxes. And I doubt anybody's, I don't know, maybe you're taste testing them to make sure they're not stale. Every once in a while you get a stale one. Oh, yeah.
It could happen.
But, you're probably not making sure you check the fortunes.
No, not often. So it takes somebody butting into it, right?
Oh, that's
There
good.
you go.
I like that one.
Good stuff here. We are out of time on the program. Take us with you. Subscribe to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. And here's what we're going to do. Every day from now until the regular season opener for the Milwaukee Brewers, we're going to end our program with a Bob Uecker highlight. And it's oftentimes be unannounced. You will just sort of hear it. But it's kind of our own look back and listen back to some of the great highlights from an iconic and legendary career. Bob Uecker and Brewers baseball synonymous for decades here in Milwaukee. He will surely be missed.
He's ready and delivers. Morgan, a smash up the middle. Base hit to center. Here comes Gomez. Around third. A throw and the Brewers win.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@wtmj.com to learn more.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Heiser's Snowy Roads Sweetheart Prices Sales event is happening now. Remaining 2024 models are priced to go. Looking for a vehicle that can handle our wintry roads? Get yourself a reliable all-wheel drive that can handle anything winter throws at you. With heated seats to top safety features and our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes roadside assistance for life, our vehicles are built to keep you cozy with peace of mind, even when the roads get slick. But hurry, our 2024 models are almost gone. So visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Ready for a smaller space, warmer climate, want to live closer to the grandkids, or just sick of the upkeep? Hi, this is Bruce Nemovitz, Senior Real Estate Specialist and founder of Bruce's Team. Come to our annual spring seminar at Bernard Botanical Gardens on March 4th. Our team, along with downsizing experts and senior community representatives, will provide guidance, support, and answers to all of your questions about this important transition. The seminar is free, but seats are limited. Sign up today at brucesteam.com.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned